But let's get to the real. So now, another thing that's been going viral on the internet is Chris Brown's 11/11 tour, which is a pretty good album. I actually like the concept of
I
it.
need to go. I need to see him. I'm sad that I missed him.
Well, some people that did go also spent $1,111 to do a meet and greet with him, and the pictures have been going viral. And one in particular went viral, and a gentleman posted a comment under the picture about his was fiance at the time,
Mm,
that no longer is. But before we get to him and his ex fiance, I want to first talk to you guys about the $1,111 meet and greet and the type of pictures, and some dudes is doing it too. So we don't want to just say that it's just women doing it, but there's some guys doing it as well. They're taking some, I guess, bro pics, I guess you can call them. One guy did the fusion pose from Dragon Ball Z with Chris. I'm not spending $1,111 to do that, but to each their own. One dude did a back-to-back, arms folded pic with Chris. Again, he spent $1,111 to take homie pics. I don't get it. But
woo.
Steph, you saw the pictures. $1,111. Talk to me. What are your thoughts on the pictures? The money that it costs to do so. Just talk to me. Talk to me.
Real question: does the $1,111 does that include your concert ticket, or is that for the meet and greet?
I think that's
That's just a
just the
meet
meet
and
and greet.
greet.
Yeah.
I will never be that thirsty to pay over $1,000 to meet and greet somebody. You should be paying. But in context to the post that you had sent, with the guy breaking with his fiance, I think that's crazy. I think the pictures are what they are, and if you're going to do a meet and greet with Chris Brown and he chooses to love on his fans consensually like that, and if you were to take that and
I
put it in
consent.
if you're putting it in the
Calm
context,
down, thirsty. Relaxed.
Michelle's like, Steph, you speak. Go ahead, girl. You got this. No, but if that's what you're getting, honestly, with the one particular picture, and may I explain, it's Chris Brown holding the girl on her up, like carrying her like a straddle, like you would
Mhm.
carry
It's
a
not
toddler,
disrespectful.
and his hands are underneath her
Michelle, can you
body.
let her finish? Relax. Thank you.
She's getting her
Continue,
brownie
Steph.
points. But I don't think, listen, to each their own. If I was with my ex that Paul, I'd have a black eye when I left.
Ooh.
I wouldn't, not by Chris, by him. No, I'm just kidding, guys. Anyway,
No, damn.
Wow.
but I think in the context of a person, like if Danny was to meet J-Lo and he had the opportunity to have J-Lo sit on his lap and put his hands like on her inner thigh or something, to each their own. If that's what you're paying for, go for it. Honestly, it's better than shaking hands and stuff. And honestly, that picture was innocent. I'll tell you this. There have been times a girl went to the club and she was getting held up like that by a bum. So the fact that it's Chris Brown, no, trust me. So the fact that it's Chris Brown and you pay $1,000 for it, what did you expect? You really expected a nice to meet you, thank you. And I guess if she should have known that was her man's boundary and not done that. If that was her man's boundary, which might I say, the girl in that photo is so bad. I saw it when you sent it to me. I thought she was so pretty. But if that's, if that's going to break an engagement, that's wild
Wild.
reason. Like, I think there needs to be a conversation. If she's straight up disrespecting him and he don't be letting her go to the club and he's strict about what she wears and stuff, and she knows that would be open disrespect because there are relationships like that, then that's a stupid move on her. She shouldn't have done that. But I don't think it's relationship ending. I think it's rather innocent. To be honest, they're sexual, yeah, but look at who you're dealing with. You're dealing with Chris Brown. You're not dealing with fucking Paul McCartney.
Ooh, I love Paul McCartney though.
I know, but you know what? Nobody would be mad if he was holding you like this. You know what I mean? Like, because he's
You might have a point.
different.
So the caption that you was speaking of, the dude commented, "This was my soon-to-be fiance. This photo has gone viral. This was her birthday present." In my head, I was convinced that a meet and greet means shaking hands and getting a signed autograph, black and white picture or CD. I am
He's
heartbroken,
playing naive.
devastated, embarrassed, and bamboozled. Once I seen this photo and seen how viral it's gotten with the insensitive, supportive comments, I ended the engagement immediately, going to the gym and start my life with Jesus until a new path is developed with the Lord's guidance. Fuck everyone who supported her. So that was his post under the picture. Like Steph said, it's a picture of Chris holding it up. Got some thigh in his hand, maybe some cheek in there a little bit too, you know. So Tiff, talk to me.
Okay.
You see the pictures, you
Oh yeah,
see
I
the
seen
other
it.
ladies. Tell me what you think about those and what you think about dude and his ex fiance as well.
Okay. So one, I think he did her a favor by publicly doing that because you walked yourself right out. Because you could have easily, yeah, it might have went viral, but you could have talked to me first about it. You know what I mean? Personally, I'm not paying no 1100, 1111 nothing. I'm keeping that money in my pocket. I don't know who's living luxurious and, rich right now to be out here just, first of all, famous people are rude for those prices anyway. So, no, thank you. I'm gonna go ahead and keep that money to myself. You know what I mean? So, but for the people who want to invest in it, I mean, you're gonna make sure you're gonna get your money's worth, right? And that's how they see fit to it. If I'm paying $1,100, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I would have pushed it to them like, hey, let's go to dinner. You know what I'm saying? You know what I
Could have
mean?
been
Why not
like,
shoot your shot?
And I don't
give
know
me a little
why.
bit on my neck right here, real quick, just because I paid
But
$1,111. Just
if
on my
I
head right
had
here.
somebody, I'm not doing all that.
Yeah,
Absolutely not. For
I don't know
me, I
why
just
dude thought that $1,111 meant shaking hands and
and
getting
and let me tell you, this is not the first time Chris Brown has done this. Like he's
exactly.
had other tours where like these pictures have gone viral where he's been very handsy on these people who choose to take a picture with him. So, you know what I'm saying? I just think, hey, they weren't right for each other because she should have said something to him. You know what I'm saying? Especially if somebody buying me tickets, I'm gonna let somebody know. You know what I mean? I've done that in the past. Hey, we might be going to this wedding, but you ain't getting nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a date for the wedding. Like there's no after celebration, none of that. You know what I'm saying? And you buy my dress and fly me out. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you got to negotiate the deal that you set up. You know what I'm saying? I don't think she spoke on things. And she probably made, you know what? Maybe that was a cry for a way out. Maybe that's what she wanted to leave because maybe he was too controlling or, you know what I'm saying? We just never know.
Michelle, thirsty one, talk
Me
to me.
thirsty. I can
I'm just
never.
saying you.
I am always hydrated, sir.
Uh
All
huh.
right. Always. I'm
But talk to
always
me.
hydrated.
Your thoughts on the pictures and the specific
Oh,
one
I
about the.
mean, listen, you're paying. Listen, if you want me to go down the spiritual route, 1111, that's a sign. That is a sign that I need to take these pictures. All right. That's one. Two, it's Chris Brown. Sorry. He's been my guilty pleasure for God knows how many years, and I've kept it on the wraps. And I can't do it anymore. I can't. Can't. I just have to fucking say it. I say it with my chest.
You're
And
gonna
it's
blow
one of
your
those
butthole out.
things, girl. Listen, all I'm saying is the picture. There are some pictures that are a little bit more savory than others. I feel like this picture in particular should have not gone to that extent, especially like if that couple knew communication. That's like if my man had an obsession with fucking Britney Spears or Rihanna or fucking Ciara, whoever. If you're paying for a meet and greet, I already know what you're gonna fucking be going into. Especially if you're gonna send your girl for her birthday to Chris Brown, say less. I'm gonna get my money's worth. And, and I feel that, it's a shame that maybe that's why that was his reason. Maybe that was either his scapegoat to kind of leave her, or maybe it was a blessing for her to leave him. But regardless, I I mean, I'm not saying I would risk it all, but I will make sure I have that communication across the board, that I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go to Chris. Look, you know what? Better yet, it's better. The meet and greets are much safer than a girl being brought on stage.
Oh,
I'd rather be the girl
yes.
in the meet and greet because the girl on stage,
She
that's
get
it's
kids.
raps. It's a rap. It's a wrap. So it's kind of like pick and choose your poison. Take a picture, pose, cute, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, you out. Or you won't be on stage for a whole song and this nigga's gonna give you a fucking lap dance and this girl is gonna just be living her best life for the rest of her life. So, you just gotta know. You just gotta know. But would I do a meet and greet? Absolutely. Without a doubt. Single, of course. Single.
of
Come on.
course. Oh, so only if you single. Only when you single.
Well, I would have to like come to a conversation with my man and I have to it has to be a trade. Like, all right, cool. If I get a meet and greet with Chris Brown, you could get a meet and greet with whoever your favorite person is. So, and we call it equal. And then that's fair. That's a compromise. That's healthy. It's not like, nah, like I'm gonna break up with this bitch and this, like, no, like there has to be a compromise some way, somehow. So
Do now again? I'm getting the ladies' perspective on this. Do you guys feel like he was too sensitive or weak, showing like making that post, putting it out there, and doing what he did?
I don't think it's being sensitive. I think at the end of the day, even if he was expressing his feelings, and maybe this is how he cold-heartedly felt, there's nothing wrong with a man expressing their feelings. And he shouldn't get shitted on that for that reason. Because at the end of the day, he's being vulnerable. And now he's being vulnerable openly. It's not just to his partner. He's being open, so it's one of those things where I think he could have taken a different approach and like try to fix things, like saying, hey, you know what? I would rather call off the wedding. I don't feel comfortable. This is not, you heard me, this is not, but not make it public. But I feel like it's one of those things, maybe he just wanted the clout. I feel like it could have definitely been approached a different way. But I don't think he's wrong for expressing how he felt. And anybody who tries to like, I don't say bully, but anybody who tries to be like, oh, like you're just being a bitch. But I think, no, I think that's uncalled for because at the end of the day, like he's still human and he still has feelings and he's allowed to express how he feels.
Steph, you agree with that or?
I think that I guess I'm a little bit confused with the fact that you guys are engaged, about to get married, and these boundaries haven't been discussed. So, you guys, you didn't really know what those boundaries are. So it probably is best they go their separate ways. I don't think he's a bitch. I think you need to know what the boundaries are in your relationship and follow those out of respect. If Danny would have been really bothered by something like that, which I don't know, I don't, I'm not putting that into play, but I wouldn't do that if I knew he was the type of man that would get bothered, that would get jealous. However, to me, when it's a celebrity, it's a fantasy and you're paying for it. It's a fantasy. It's not real life. He is not courting
He's
your
not
girl.
going home with you.
You know who he has a baby
He
with?
might. It's Chris
Like
Brown.
Karuchi. He's not like
I mean, but
looking
I'll be like,
at.
listen,
Listen, I'm gonna keep it a
like,
buck. Listen, all it takes is one chance. You paying that money to meet him. If he's
you gonna shoot
feeling your
your shot?
vibe, yes, I'm saying. I've witnessed
I'd be
it.
like,
I've
so
lived
what
it
do you like?
before.
Steak and
I've lived it
eggs? You want a
before.
burger?
A meet and
Like,
greet. You know what I'm saying? When they catch your vibe, sometimes they come looking for you. You know what I'm saying? I've lived that life before. I've experienced that.
listen, I ain't even
That's
gonna
all
hold
it
you to it
takes.
because I saw an interview with John Cena and
Hmm.
Homeboy was like, they were talking about like, like he's this fit athlete, athletic
Hmm.
guy. And he's like, I took home, a 252, 265 girl. I said, sir, excuse me? I said, you took what home? And he said, no, she took me home. I said, oh my God. I was like, there is hope for the big girls out there.
But yeah.
There is hope. Even though I'm 23 pounds down and I'm like, I'm trying to get myself right. But I was like, okay. And I get it. You shoot your shot. You go for it.
But that's what I'm
And
saying. It could be anybody. If the vibe is right and that
when
person
is
left
he
the
touring,
imprint on
Paul?
him.
Actually, you know what? Let me shout out to Paul because I put a story. I said, how much are these meet and greets? And Paul gave me the fucking information. I said, yo, you the real homie.
But I wasn't telling you to save up for it. I was just telling you that's a ridiculous price. That's what I was. You
So
took it a whole
I
different
took it
way.
as like, you know what, Michelle, let me
Yeah,
help you. And this is the price. And I
yeah,
said, Paul, you the
no,
real one.
yeah, no. I was saying it's $1,111. That's wild. But I mean, I
But Paul, what
agree.
I want to say
For
is
that price, that's you want to get your money's worth. But
what I want to say something,
go
but
ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
I don't think, see, the internet will attack you if you bring your emotions to that place. So that's why he's probably labeled as a bitch. Personally, for me, I'm not a person, nor do I really want to see that on my timeline of like that descriptive about something because at the end of the day, if you end up getting back with this person, you just played yourself because you open the door to let everybody in your business. You get what I'm saying? And my thing about it is like, I'm all for expressing yourself, but make sure if that's how you move, you know what I'm saying? Just make sure you're completely done with whatever you're posting visually that's stamped and that's traceable. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you put that out there. You know what I mean? Don't come crying later when you like have a like soft thought about it and you know you're regretting your decision or whatever. But people be too impulsive, you know what I'm saying? And they feel like they have to validate things that they see online. Yeah, it might have went viral because it's Chris Brown and it's your girl, but handle that in private because now if you want to move on, you're gonna be labeled as the dude who gets emotional if a celebrity comes to try to take your girl. You know what I'm saying?
But
You don't want that card under your belt. You know what I mean? They be like, oh, he's a nice guy, but he got meek Twitter fingers. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want my person running online, social media wise, and sitting here blasting me about stuff because you on your man period. Like that's crazy. No way.
Now let me
Mm-mm.
ask you, ladies, in a relationship, is that picture with Chris got her hiked up? Do it, it, is that a boundary that need to be discussed, or is that picture just inappropriate off the rip?
Boundary.
So you down to have discussion about it,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you
Michelle?
got to see who you dealing with. You got to see who you dealing with and respect what each other's saying. Because if they allow that, all right, they might want some picture or you know what I'm saying, a night with whoever they want. You know what I'm saying. You got to see what they limits are with things. So
So
that's got to be
on
a
the flip
discussion before it
side,
happens.
can you handle your man?
Exactly.
Him got somebody
If you're gonna
hemmed
do
up by
that,
the.
you gotta.
I
J
feel like
Lo,
I
J
could,
Lo, thick and beautiful, sitting right on Danny's thick ass
it could
lap,
be Shakira,
and
it
his
could be
hands
Carol
on her
G.
side. I'll take the fucking picture.
Listen, I look at
Okay.
it this way. I think it's definitely not only boundaries, but it's something in the sense like if I'm gonna have Chris Brown pick my fat ass up like that, and if my man at that time is gonna be picking up whether it's Carol G, Rosalia, fucking J Lo, fucking Shakira, whoever it is, bitch, like, get your money's worth. It is an even trade because you know what? I'd be like, you know what? Those hands touch that bitch, and they're touching me now.
And they're about to
Like,
touch me next.
sorry, sorry, I'm gonna say it for what it is.
Okay.
And it you just have to be at that point, I feel like you just have to be so secure and safe in your relationship where these conversations can happen and it doesn't become an altercation, a fight. It doesn't become something unhealthy or toxic. And, you know, it's something I've learned throughout the years. And at the end of the day, like, it's just like, yo, like, they're a celebrity. And you know what? And let's just say, for fucking Christ's sakes, this celebrity is like, you know what? You're gonna be my next wife. You know what? I'll tell my boo, like, babe, I got you. Cause whatever money I got, you gonna get too. Like, it's whatever, you know?
Mm.
But, you know, overall, though, I think really the root of it, what it comes down to is that sense of reassurance, security, comfortability, safety. And if you really have that all in the bag, yo, it's fucking priceless. Like, you as a couple, you're unstoppable.
Okay. Okay. All right. Keep that same energy when your
I always
man's
do. I
all of
always
y'all.
do.
If he wanna go to a meet and greet and grab up on something,
And let's
Absolutely.
clarify. Can I clarify something that I said when I said J-Lo? I'm specific to J-Lo, or like Michelle said, Karol G, a celebrity. I think there's a boundary right there that it's a celebrity.
You're not gonna
I
pick
mean,
up some bitch at the fucking club and take a
yeah,
picture
you're
like
not
that
gonna
because
have anybody
I will knock her
else.
bricks out.
But
There's a
what's
You're
the
difference.
not gonna have anybody else
difference?
sitting on your lap.
It's
But if you paid a
celebrity
thousand
to
dollars,
celebrity.
They human
Celebrity to
beings
celebrity.
too. They human.
I mean, a hood celebrity, right?
I
Right.
mean,
Celebrity to celebrity. I don't give a fuck. So to me, celebrity to celebrity. Like
but,
that's
but,
like
but
me
why
saying like
why
I'm
is
gonna turn
why is that the buffer?
because I'm not having a random nigga pick me up and take a picture like that. It's a fucking celebrity. So if
But
it's gonna
but
be another
But
celebrity,
I
and
mean, the
it's
argument here is, listen, he's just got a high status and a really great career. He's really a regular dude. He's just
right,
got
he's a
a really
regular
good
guy.
drive.
And if
but I feel like
anything,
any celebrity is a regular except
any
Henry Cavill.
person
Like
is a regular person. You just paid
right.
him to do it,
but
whereas
it's
a
also,
random person will be for free. But
if I
it's
may, it's also in a very controlled environment where people are behind the person, people are in front of the person. Now, if the girl slid her number to Chris Brown, that's another conversation, but that has nothing to do with the picture.
or if
The
he
You
slid
gotta
picture,
shoot your shot
his,
though.
the
That's what I
pose.
mean. Tiff said you gotta shoot your shot.
and if he
But
did, he might have. Because
and
again,
if he
all we
did,
seen is the picture. We don't know if it was his idea to pose like that, or her idea,
I'm gonna
or
say this.
if
I'm
a
gonna say this.
conversation
I'm
was
gonna say
had. We
this.
don't know.
It's always
I'm
the
gonna say.
girl's
Let me
idea.
say this, right? One time I went and did a meet and greet,
Mm-hmm.
and I took a picture with the person at the end, right?
Mm-hmm.
I posted the picture. They came and commented me. They came looking for me. So,
but Tiff, it's because
mhm.
you're a celebrity. You understand? I'm
There
just
you go. There
I'm
you
a regular
go.
schmegular
Listen,
girl,
we all
Yes.
celebrities to somebody.
right?
We all celebrities to somebody, and celebrities they hunt, and especially Chris.
Hmm.
Chris is a sniper. We know how Chris get down. So
I can tell
if
you
he
this.
sees something he
I
like,
mean, look what he did with what's her name, Carucci.
it's a
Yeah.
Yes.
list of them. I mean, he done.
But
It's a
what
bunch
can I
of
put
She
something
was a
into
regular little
perspective?
sales girl at a
yeah,
store, and he turned her into the big life. So,
yeah. That's what he do. Go
I don't
ahead,
know. I
Steph.
feel like my biggest celebrity guy that I'm like just so in love with is Neo. I love
Hmm.
him. I would pay a meet and greet if I had that type of money to spare.
And he's into polygamy, so he just
And
make you a sister wife.
I will tell you this. I will tell you this. He couldn't make me a sister wife because of who I am. Not because of who
Yeah.
he is, but because of who I am. I am loyal to my husband. I will take a picture like that. And if he were to say, Steph, come out, champagne life, roses, champagne and roses is his new tour, right? If he did that, I would be like, no, but thank you so much. It was such a pleasure meeting you. And then I get to go home and tell Danny, yo, Neo. And he'll be like, damn, I'm glad you
girl,
had
you
that
don't want him.
moment.
He's
Listen,
gay
I'm gonna
everywhere.
tell you real quick. I've always
He's
been
bi.
told,
He's
"Oh,
bi.
if my
Steph,
Luma came
he's
up to you,"
bi. You
and
don't
I'm
want
like, "No,
that.
I would turn him down." And bullshit. Like it's really, I'm not saying bullshit or like Henry Cavill. I'm like, no, I'm like you are my Henry Cavill. You are my like you are fucking
Yes.
10,
Oh,
10 out of 10. You're fucking a Kobe beef. That you're actually fuck that. You're fucking a Wagyu steak, all right, sir. But in reality,
Mm-hmm.
let's be humble.
Mm-hmm.
That's like if Rihanna approached Paul and said, "Let me take you out to dinner." You think Paul's gonna say no?
I know a spot. Let's go.
Yeah.
We out.
So I feel like
mm,
in reality, it
She like Harlem dudes too.
right. Listen, I
yeah.
look at it this way. I feel like there are boundaries. There's things. There's fantasies. There's these things. But and again, the loyalty, whatever. But again, it goes across the board where it's kind of like you're gonna have that ultimate creme de la creme celebrity crush saying like, "Yo, let me wine and dine you." As much as you could love your partner and be like, "Nah, like I bleed for him. Like this is my man. This is everything. This is my heart and soul." Like, no, we're gonna be like, "Okay, you can wine and dine me." Like it's just it's human. It's human instinct. It could be a one time thing. It could. It's at the end of the day I'm not gonna deny if like an opportunity came like that. I would be like, I would tell my boo, like, listen, baby, I come on, this could be a win-win for us. Like, just let me live in the moment. and maybe you have your moment. Like,
I'm gonna
but
be
overall,
honest. As a
overall,
man, I don't care if it's a celebrity or not. I don't want to see my girl hiked up by some dude.
I respect that.
I
And you
just
shouldn't
don't.
have bought her the ticket before a meeting greet for 11/11,
Well, he
which is
But
paid
what
very
if
for it,
she?
bad.
But what if she
so
bought her own
He
ticket?
bought it. He bought it. It says
yeah,
it in
he
the
bought
bio.
it.
He bought it. I bought this
So
for her birthday.
So he
yeah,
should have known what he was getting into.
as I'm saying, he
Thing.
said he thought it was a handshake, and I think in his mind,
A
that's all
handshake
she
is
would
when
want to
you
do.
go to Comic Con or Horror Con. That's the handshake.
Or
Yeah,
And
Girls Gotta Eat Live
yeah,
podcast. I have
and,
one
and
of
like
those.
and
that's
like you, somebody said earlier, like Chris has done this before. That's what it is.
Yeah.
great.
One,
Like you
I
gotta,
want to know what
you
kind
have
of,
to know.
not the pocket watch, but listen, that's a nice birthday present. You know what I'm saying? $1,111. But like I said, me
Those are
personally,
angel numbers. Those are angel numbers.
no
He
doubt.
might have threw it on the
But
credit card. Let's be
me
real.
personally, I don't want to see my girl in anybody's arms. I just don't. And you can call it whatever you want to call it.
No,
I
I
don't
feel
want.
you, and I just personally wouldn't do that myself.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah.
wouldn't. I do like the side church hug. You know what I'm saying? But first of all, I would not pay that much
And
for
I get the
to
whole
see him that.
fantasy
But
of it, but the fantasy can remain up here. Get out his
mm,
arms.
And as
Like,
somebody, and real shit, this is just a real point that goes off of that comment because I was thinking about it earlier. Like, there are fantasies that are so much better in your head than they are lived out.
yeah,
And like
like being
sometimes
in Chris Brown's arms.
you want to keep that nectar. You know what I mean? You
nah,
want to
Yeah,
keep.
I like for me. I if I know I could make it reality, I'm gonna do it.
no doubt.
Ah,
That's my
You
satisfaction.
gotta
Like
get it.
to just know that I can. You know what I'm saying? To prove myself right.
Absolutely, as you should. And
Hmm.
it's just, but again, it's not even celebrity wise. Like, oh, how much time we got?
Go ahead.
All right, so like it's not even celebrity wise. It's just even in the aspect which is going to trickle into the next topic that I know he's talking about. You have these girlies who are so invested in these like dark novels and all this other stuff, and it just it opens such a spectrum to different things. So regardless of the matter, like I know that once again, I know that the day that I am blessed to go to a Chris Brown concert, I know that
Mm-hmm.
I have to speak to my partner, and be like, hey, pictures are going to be taken, but they'll be taken respectfully.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm just letting you know right now that if I
Mm-hmm.
get picked up, it's because I said I consented to it and I need
Mm-hmm.
you to consent to it. Now, if it came to it, he's like, well, you know what? I don't want that.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that would be that turning point where it's kind of like, okay, I have to respect my partner and his wishes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not going to be like, well, I bought my fucking ticket, so I'm going to do what I want. No, it's going to, because at the end of the day, Chris Brown's not coming home with me. I'm going home to my man. So I feel like that's the bigger picture of it. But overall, I feel like it's something that it's you really have to have that communication at the
Mm-hmm.
end of the day when it comes down to it. So
Like I said, I'll communicate with anybody. Yeah, I don't want you to see you in anybody's arms. You know what I'm saying? I don't. No, I don't. Especially
who's
paying.
your celebrity crush, Paul?
I
Don't
can't.
say no one.
One, I can't think of one that I can't. I'm spending $1,111 for. Two, I really don't know any like woman celebrity, whatever, that I really would go crazy for like that. To be honest, even a male celebrity. Like I'm not a big celebrity person. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? So
I I mean, in my career, I'm gonna say I've been blessed to meet a lot of celebrities
yeah,
in my career. I've never been starstruck
right.
by anybody that I've met. Um, besides Abraham, I think his name is fuck, the guy that plays Rick Grimes in The Walking Dead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's just
So
Rick. I
Rick,
forget his real name.
yeah,
It's Rick. It's Rick Grimes.
it's something Lincoln. I know Lincoln is the last name.
Oh, okay.
And I met him, funny enough, I was working in the Flatiron district
Hmm.
and he was there with his wife. And I knew who he was because I was such a fanatic at that time. I was like, I was like, so I was starstruck at that moment, but it wasn't one of those moments where I was like, oh my God, he needs my number. I need to fucking take a picture. Let me get you. Like, it was just, it was the shock of the moment because at that time I was a fanatic of the series, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, it's kind of like, I don't know which one of the girls said it, is the fantasy that, you know what, I'm paying this money, let me take this photo, let me live in the moment. And there's nothing wrong living in the moment. And then there's nothing wrong having a partner that could support you living in the moment as long as it's respectful.
Sounds
And
good.
I'm just
Yes.
leaving it at that.
Sounds good.